Okay, guys, so we're on live. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm Terry Davis. I wanted to have a short little panel discussion tonight with some of our top earners in our company. Everybody has a unique story. Some people have retired from corporate America, while the others are still working on their advanced degrees. And I kind of wanted to talk about how you can incorporate this business into your daily life. If you either want to leave your job for good or you still are passionate about, what you went to school for. So, first, I want to start with Katie Lemons. Can you tell everybody how long you've been in the business and how you were introduced?
Yes, so I've been in the business a little over 3 years, and I started the business. Well, I was actually Facebook friends with Michael Wade. I was in his biology class in undergrad.
Best class ever.
Yeah, it was awesome. And me and my best friend used to stalk his Facebook all the time because he used to talk about his girlfriend Susan. And so we used to stalk his Facebook and look at their wedding pictures. And then one day she took over his Facebook and like made this announcement about It Works. And I was like, what is that? And so I added her on her Wrapping Mom page. And I messaged her for about 3 months before I decided to finally try the wrap, and it didn't work, but I still signed up that same day with her, and that's how I got started.
I don't like how in your story you're like, oh, and then my wrap didn't work. Like, you have to explain it because people don't know what that means. Like, 4 wraps is a treatment, so you're...
Yeah, I'd only tried it one time. And I think my product is defining gel. Everyone has their product that just like, I don't know, it's their product. And I think mine is defining gel. I'd rather use defining gel twice a day. I don't wrap as often because I'm just obsessed with defining gel.
She's lazy. We can just...
That's also it.
Okay. So next I'm going to ask you, JoAnna, how long have you been in the business and how did you get introduced?
I've been in the business just like her. It's been a little over 3 years for myself, and I was introduced as someone who was looking for the product. I had a 2-year-old son at the time, and I didn't like my funky belly. And so my sponsor, Ronessa, was posting a whole bunch of before and afters, and I was like, wait a minute, I need to get that. So I wanted to try whatever the product was, and I contacted her to become a customer, actually, but realized that I needed additional income because I was a teacher at the time that had to take a pay cut and become a long-term sub. So that's pretty much how I got into it.
Okay. Susan and Michael, how long have you guys been in the business, and how are you introduced?
I've been in for 3.5 years. He's been in for about two years. Mm-hmm. I did not believe in network marketing. Michael had actually done network marketing in the past, so he definitely was skeptical because he didn't make much money with it. And I don't know, I wasn't looking for It Works, but it kind of found me. One of my friends was posting about the wraps on her Facebook, and my baby was about a month old, and I was not happy with my stomach at the time. And so even though I didn't think it would work, I was like, it's just $25. So whatever, I don't have to contact her again if it doesn't work. So she came over and wrapped me, and that week we saw my results. And
I came home and was shocked. I was like, there's no way that just happened.
Thanks, babe. Anyway, so that whole week I kind of was just, like I said, I wasn't looking for the opportunity, but it kind of just hit me that if I'm obsessed with this product, how many other people could I introduce this to? And so I remember asking him, he walked through the door one night, and I said, what would you think about me selling this? And he kind of said, you can do whatever you want. You can use your college credit card. We didn't have the money at the time. But he said, you can do whatever you want, but in 3 months, I'm going to say I told you so. And I kind of proved him wrong and just jumped into this and wrapped a whole bunch of people and built a huge team. Terry's under me and Katie's under me, and so we just have lots of fun. And I know you're going to ask me more questions, so I'm not going to go into any more.
Right. Okay, yeah, and I want to tell everybody my story just a little bit. This month will actually be my 2-year mark. And I was introduced. I went to a wrap party with my sister-in-law. Susan was actually hosting it, and I was just kind of standing in the background. I wasn't really listening. I was working my other business on my phone, trying to make money. I didn't really care too much what they were talking about because I had seen the wrap go up and down my news feed on Instagram with my other business, and I never once clicked it because, I'm a scientist, and that made no sense, and it was a lie, so I wasn't even going to pay it attention. So I went to the party, and I just I rapped to help support my sister-in-law. That's all I was doing, supporting her. Then, I guess I started listening to products, and they had a hair vitamin, and to go with my other business, that's pretty much the only reason I joined, and I still didn't even want to deal with the wraps, but I did see that they worked on the party on other people, and I could understand it, and it made sense, but that's basically how I joined and got started. So everybody on this panel has a college education, and, most of the times we think about you went to school, so, you're going to live the good life. So before it works, I want you all to kind of paint a picture of what your life was like before you joined. I'm going to start with you, Katie.
Okay. Before I joined It Works, I just got my bachelor's degree, and I worked 40 hours a week all through bachelor's to get my bachelor's, and then I started pharmacy school, and I'm one of those people that has to study a lot. I study all the time. I mean, from the second I wake up to the time I go to bed for an exam, I study all the time. And so I knew going into pharmacy school I was not going to be able to work 40 hours a week to make a living while I was in school. So I knew I had to do something, and so I was like, I'm just going to go for it because I had no money, and I was taking out thousands of dollars in extra money in student loans to live off of, and I just knew that was just going to be insane because my tuition alone was over $30,000, and taking out extra money then on top of that to live off of, I knew I'd be in debt until I was like at least 60. So I just knew that's not something I wanted to do. And I just wanted to at least make a couple $100s a month so that I wouldn't have to take out any extra student loan money for tuition.
Okay. What about you, JoAnna? What did it look like before you joined?
Oh my gosh. Life before It Works was struggling to get to work. I had an hour drive each way from where I lived to the school that I taught at. I made about $700 every 2 weeks, and so a lot of that was eaten up in gas and groceries, and life was telling my daughter who just walked by no. Life was wanting her to have this lifestyle of becoming a dancer and having to tell her no, I couldn't afford that. Life was being that stressed out teacher who was going to work each and every day, not even sure if I was going to keep my job, which I actually ended up losing in February of 2013. So it was a very stressful time in my life. And so this opportunity just came at the best time. And I'll let you move on.
Okay. So same for you, Susan. Since you joined first, what did life look like before It Works? Because, well, I guess you can tell everybody your profession and what you went to school for.
Yeah, so I went to school to be a registered nurse. So I got my bachelor's degree as well. And I grew up with my mom as a nurse. And I'll never forget, as a little girl, she told me that you never should rely on a man for money. And so if your husband ever left you or you had kids, you would need to be able to still put food on the table, because that's what happened to her. And so I kind of think it was ingrained in my head that I needed to be a nurse because that saved my mom. So I thought like in the long run it would save me and be kind of like this dream job. And so I went to school. I was actually like at the top of my class, and once I got into the job, I hated it. Like, I loved what I did. I took care of newborn babies, but I was so stressed out, and I knew that it was not where God wanted me. I just felt very lost and depressed. So that's where we were. You know, I was working as a nurse. You want to tell them what you were doing?
Yeah, I had worked up the corporate ladder. Got out of college with bachelor's in pharmaceutical studies from Belmont. That's where, we met Katie. And thought that I was going to be a pharmacist. But before I went to pharmacy school, I wanted to get a little experience. And went to this company I was actually working with pharmacists and ended up getting up to the director of operations it's a large multi-million-dollar healthcare company, reporting to the COO. Was making not too good money after 3.5 years. Really poured all my excess time, even after we were married, nights staying up there, weekends, just really.
You just gave it everything you had because he wanted, he thought if he gave his whole heart that they would see his work and eventually promote him. And so, but with both of our incomes, we were doing okay. So then came the time where his boss said, hey, you want to make more money? We're going to give you an opportunity to make like over 100,000.
Well, no, Six Sigma starting out, like the black belt, is going to make about anywhere from, let's say, 60 to 80,000. But then once you get experience, it's supposed to be more. But at the time, my salary was like 47, so it was going to double my salary, give or take.
Yeah. So he came home and said, hey, you don't have to be a nurse anymore. We can start trying for kids. You get to be a stay-at-home mom, which was my dream. And we ended up getting pregnant and thought, like, okay, he's going to get the Six Sigma degree. And a month after Vivian was born, which is right about the time I was seeing Brooke's posts, he came home and said,
title raise, no pay raise.
Yeah, I'm not getting a pay raise. I'd already quit my job, so I didn't have anything. And he told me, you've got 3 months to find something because we're going to run out of money. We only had 3 months left of savings. So corporate America screwed us, essentially. That's like the nicest way of putting it, because absolutely every time I even hear his old job's name, I want to, burn it to the ground. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
It's okay. His wife is still my Facebook friend, and I know she sees my posts. So.
But, I mean, not even just that. It's, you got the people that go into work and they hide. They do just enough to get by. And they're like, everyone's so scared to lose their job. And they're scared to overperform, because if you overperform, it puts a target on your back. And they expect more of you. So it's like this catch-22 you're stuck in. I don't know. And then you're at the mercy. They get to tell you, you can have a certain amount of time off, but it's still at their discretion. If you want to work, they want you to work overtime or whatever.
And we only had, at the time, one working car.
Yeah.
I remember we didn't have
transmission and the car went out.
The other car didn't work, and he was, when I'd have to use the car, he would ride a bike up and down Old Hickory Boulevard in Nashville to work, and he would have to shower or scrub off.
I think it was 7 or 8 miles to work.
Yeah, so
and back,
8 miles.
So give or take.
He would
but it
ride
was
his bike.
A hill. It wasn't just 7 miles flat. It was like a mountain.
So that's where we were.
Yeah.
Prior to It Works.
Right. Yeah, and I pretty much feel the same way that you guys feel. I was working in the lab. I had a good job, but at the same time, when I really start to think about it, I worked an off shift to help with extra money. And I guess for the longest, I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, I work night shift. No, I work night shift to make more money because I didn't have enough. So I worked that off shift. I was missing out on all my children. I have 4 kids. Now they're 7 to 2, but they were all young, and I was missing them growing up. And work was stressful because I had just got my master's degree. And when I went back to work, I was like a target, like Michael said. Like, now my supervisor was almost like, trying to take my job? No, I don't even want to be here anymore, but I'm just here. So it just was really stressful, and I was missing out on my children. And I just knew I'm not the type of person anyways that really needs a boss. I'm very independent, and after a while, it wasn't going to work. But I was going to ask, okay, let me start with the next question. So looking back, is there anything like when you look back at your bachelor's degree, what do you think about? Like, do you feel like maybe the way that we perceive the degree is a little bit, I want to say, well, I guess it's not even necessarily what it really is anymore. Maybe a long time ago, getting a bachelor's and getting your degree meant something else. But now, do you kind of feel like things have changed? Would you have changed anything?
I can easily answer that question because being the director, I went through a lot of people's resumes. Mm-hmm. And really, your ability to go through college is your ability to show somebody that you can start and finish something. So that was the first thing. The second thing is it's your token to work for somebody else. All it does is if there's a requirement, like it basically puts your resume on that stack of papers. It doesn't mean you're going to get hired. There are so many college graduates that come out and they work at Starbucks or they work at wherever they have to get by, and it takes them forever to try to find a good job. And so really I think the requirements has almost become these days that the education is what you almost need, and then you have to go to masters, or you have to go to higher education to even get not just in the stack, but to even really get looked at these days, and which is thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right.
And then you're back to the same thing we were talking about. You know, it doesn't really change the job atmosphere. It just allows you to have that ticket, basically, to get looked at.
Right. Any of you want to chime in?
Yeah, you know, I think for me, and I think for a lot of people, everyone is, you know, when we go through high school and stuff like that, you know, you're taught, oh, you have to get a college degree in order to be successful in life. And so for me, I wanted to make sure I had every degree possible because I was taught that's what I needed to be successful. You know, it's something that's ingrained in our lives, you know, from the moment we start high school. You know, they start telling you, start planning for your college that you're going to go to. You've got to get the grades that you need so you can get a scholarship, or, you know, you start getting into the whole financial aid thing, and then, you know, you're stuck with a degree and a whole lot of debt. So, you know, for me, it was more so like, you know, I wish I would have known, and I'm not saying, you know, for anyone to not get a college degree, but I wish I would have known that I could have been, you know, this successful without even having, you know, a college degree. And so that's my 2 cents on that one.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that can write really well, way better than myself. But you never see a New York Times, you know, it's always the best-selling author. It's not the best writing author.
Right.
It's the best-selling author. There's plenty of people that can write, plenty of people can get degrees, but it doesn't mean you're going to be successful.
Right. Well, I didn't know if Katie wanted to say anything. Well, I guess my other question, the next question I had, I kind of answered it because I was going to ask, like, why, even though we all have degrees, why do we still look at this opportunity? And really, like you said, it looks good on paper, but that's not the true reality of, you know, the job field and the job market anymore. You're stressed out, you're overworked, you're like underpaid, and, you know, you have debt, like crazy debt, depending on, you know, what you went to school for. Because even me, I got my master's at Lipscomb, which is a private school, and I think that program alone is $25,000. But at the same time, I was still working, but I still wanted to have some extra money, so I didn't have to work, you know, like overtime and stuff like that. So I ended up taking out some additional loans while I was doing that. And, you know, it was just, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I feel like, for me personally, I don't know if you guys even know this, like, I felt like the real world slapped me in my face because I decided that I was staying at Vanderbilt for the house. So I was going to, we were going to purchase a house that next year, and my mom knew I was so stressed, and she was like, Terry, just go ahead and get the house now. And that's why we went ahead a year earlier to go look for a house, and one of the only reasons that it was pending that I potentially couldn't get a house, it was because the amount of student loan debt I had to my name. And I was so mad because I felt like I got cheated. I was like, so you're telling me I went to school to provide this life for my family, and now I'm getting slapped in the face, like I'm getting punished because I went to school. But, you know, we were able to work everything out. Like, my mom looks back and she was like, I don't even understand how you got this house. There was so much stuff going against you. But, like, God came through and we were able to get a house, and I was able to leave my job. As soon as I signed that Friday, we signed the papers, and it took me up until Sunday, like at 12 in the morning, and I had to be at work at 4 to finally just hit submit and send that 2 weeks notice in. But, yeah, that was a slap in the face for me that I didn't even realize was going to happen. Like, those student loans were going to hinder me being able to buy a house for my family. That was kind of crazy.
Well, you know what I really love about It Works is that whatever work you do and how hard you work, you get rewarded for it and you get paid for it. Sometimes in the workforce or with corporate America, you work your butt off like Michael did, and then you get screwed over. Like,
right.
You don't get, recognized. With It Works, you get recognized for your hard work. You get on conference calls when you go presidential and above.
You get bonuses.
You get bonuses.
Yeah.
You can pass the person who signed you up, which some people for some reason think that, network marketing is a pyramid scheme. And if it were a pyramid scheme, first of all, you wouldn't be able to have products going in and out. Like, you wouldn't be able to sell product. It would be all about recruitment. Well, with It Works, we actually have customers. We have millions of customers. And then as well, whoever enrolls you, you can pass them. You can go above their rank. And I don't know how that could be considered a pyramid scheme, because a pyramid scheme, you have to get in at the right time, and it's all about when you signed up, not with It Works. With It Works, if you work your butt off, you will get to the top. It may take you a little bit longer than others, but you can't compare yourself, and you will eventually get to the top. The only way you won't is if you quit. And I proved that over and over, showing, I signed up. We signed up 3.5 years ago, and we're at the top of the company. Yet we signed people 6 months ago, and they're quitting their jobs. So it does not matter when you get in this business. It's how much effort you put into this business.
Right. And so that's going to lead to the next question. So I want you all to tell everybody what your rank is and how much money you've earned in bonuses, or good bonuses alone. Let's start with you, Katie. What is your rank in the company, and how much have you earned in bonuses?
I'm presidential. Trying to think how much I've made in bonuses.
So much you can't even count.
You made the 75,000 prez.
Yeah, I've made each of them. I've made the diamond and up. So, but it's never been the double good. So
There was
not
10,
as much as you guys can.
10, 15, 25, and 50, right?
Yeah.
No, she made 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is.
85, 100.
100,000 in bonuses. Okay.
Yes.
And you're a presidential diamond. JoAnna, how much? What is your rank, and how much in bonus have you earned?
I'm a triple diamond, and for good bonuses, I got the 10K bonus. They didn't have a double bonus when I went double diamond. But hey, so I ended up getting the 10K for going diamond and the 25K for going triple. So 35,000 in bonuses. Not to mention all of the lovely weekly bonuses, $100 fast start bonuses that I've been getting. I can't even count.
Yeah.
Right. So Susan and Michael, what are your all's ranks, and how much have you guys earned in bonuses?
So we're both ambassador diamonds. He's technically a presidential diamond in his account under me, but we're both considered ambassador diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
I made the $10,000 bonus, the $50,000 bonus, or sorry, 25. I made the 10,000 and the 25 because they didn't have the 15, and then I made the $75,000 bonus for ambassador, and then he made the 10,000, the 15,000, the 25,000, and the 50,000. I don't know what that is, but it's a lot.
100.
Yeah, and then we're about to get a bonus this month. So
yeah.
Ooh, yes. So yes, I'm a double diamond, and I've earned $50,000 in good bonuses, and I'm shooting for another 72,000 this month for me to go triple, and my husband to go emerald and diamond. So yes, there's definitely money there, and that was like a big issue for me too, starting out. Like, are people really making money? Because like you said, there's all that those thoughts about network marketing that no, people aren't really making like money with commas in their checks. But no, really, this opportunity.
People who don't make money with it works are the people that sign up for 1 month and then they quit. That's just the truth. People that sign up in a month and they think that they're going to be a millionaire and they don't become a millionaire, so they're like, oh, this is a scam. But if they would have just stuck it out for a couple more months, they would have shown that they would have got more money. So
Right.
you can't quit.
Right. So I want to ask specifically to Katie and JoAnna. So how has being in this business benefited you while being in school? Because I know there's still some people that are really passionate about what they're going to school for and what they want to do, but they still need extra money, and this business, you know, can help them. So how has this business been able to help both of y'all finish up your education at the same time? Katie, tell everybody what you're studying in school and like when you're going to graduate.
Okay. I will be a pharmacist in exactly 1 month and 13 days. But honestly, the whole reason I wanted to do pharmacy was I have a brother that's 8 years older than me, and he had a really bad drug addiction. And so it was really hard growing up, seeing that, being younger and not really understanding. And I had to go to a lot of rehabs and visit him and stuff like that. And so that's always what I wanted to do when I became a pharmacist, was to help patients like him and like detox and help people with their addiction problems. But I've always also had like a passion for missions. So thanks to It Works, I was able to go on my first missions trip to Guatemala this year and help do pediatric surgeries. So really, going through It Works while still in pharmacy school, it's like helped me be able to do all these things that I never thought I'd be able to do. You know, now I can do all the missions trips that I want, and I can, you know, provide some medical advice if I go out of the country and stuff like that. So that's really cool, because I never thought that I'd be able to do that, because like I said, I thought I was going to be in debt until I was like 60 and be working 40 hours a week all the time and not get to do that stuff and like give back to the community and stuff like that from things that I've gotten out of my degree. So that's one of the main things I'm really thankful for, that I'm going to have the opportunity to do that.
Okay. JoAnna?
So what was the question again?
how has this business benefited you finishing up school? And tell them what you're going to school for.
Okay, so I had to ask what was the question again, because I'm working on homework and doing this at the same time. So I'm multitasking, but I am working on my Doctor of Education and Organizational Leadership with an emphasis in K through 12 leadership. This goal was specifically a bucket list thing for me. I got my master's in secondary education, and I really was not interested in furthering my education, especially with the success that I've had with It Works. But I realized, because I have been successful with this business, I've been able to cross this off my bucket list. Like, I've been able to do this as something that, you know, was a goal of mine. I had always said, you know, I wanted to make sure I reached every level of education that I could possibly, you know, go through. And, you know, the goal was essentially to have my daughter look at me and see how hard I work, you know, with my education. I had my daughter freshman year in college in my bachelor's. So, you know, it's been important for me to show her that, she was instrumental with me being successful in college. I had her at such a young age and freshman year in college, and she pushed me through my bachelor's so I could help, make a better way for her. And then being as though she's now in middle school, I just want her to have a some sort of example to look at with me doing this, so now she's able to work hard in middle school and towards, going to high school. So I'm just thankful that this opportunity, It Works has allowed me to go ahead and make this happen for myself. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. But, I have the flexibility to decide, and back in the day when I did my bachelor's and when I did my master's, I was looking for a job specifically for those degrees and could not get one. So, I just have the flexibility to make the decision. If I want to utilize it, I can. If not, I don't have to. But it's still something that I can scratch off my bucket list and know that I did.
Right. That's actually, I was thinking about going back to school to either medical school or even getting a PhD, but that was one of the reasons I didn't. I didn't want to put my kids, I didn't want to have to be gone and change our financial situation to where I felt it was going to affect them. So I stopped. And like you said, if I decide to go back, it's going to be because, for one, I can pay for whatever in cash. If I do want to go to medical school, I can pay for it in cash. That's what I'm going to do. But I still just will have that option. Like you said, it'll probably be a bucket list item for me as well if I decide to do that. Or, just having that flexibility to reach all the goals that I set for myself, but basically on my time, not forced because I'm trying to look for a job to go along with them. I don't know, Susan. I haven't even talked to you about that before. Have you ever thought about going back, or are you good over there?
If I ever had to go back to work, it would not be as a nurse. No. I've discovered that I'm actually really good at talking and speaking in public and helping people and advertising. So I'd probably do something in some type of sales or join a different network marketing company.
Yeah,
Not that I will ever quit It Works, but if It Works ever, went away, which it's not going to. But.
Here's the honest truth, and I applaud everybody here that's going for those higher level educations, because here's the truth. We need good doctors to help people. We need good pharmacists. We need good nurses. We need the people that want to be able to do these things to help people. And part of this business, most people start this part-time to be able to dream a little bigger than what they have. They want something more than what they currently have, whatever that is, big, little, small, it doesn't matter. As you begin getting success and you gain that success, what happens along that pathway is there's a significance. You go from success to significance. So everything I hear from everybody speaking here, it's not just, hey, we've been successful, but now we get to have significance. We get to have impact. We get to choose how we impact this life and people and the people around us. And Susan and I have big plans. This year we're doing other investments.
Yeah.
We're taking not just the money we made and storing it in a bank account. We're actually going to utilize it. It's like a pond. Have you ever seen those ponds that are green? Have y'all ever seen those, the big slimy ones? I know. I have some of those craziest, little analogies here. But think about a pond that's green. There's no life in it. There may be water coming in, but it's stagnant. How does life flow? Water comes in and water goes out. That is the flow of life. It's the same thing with money. If you want to hold on to it, I'm serious.
That is the flow of life.
You want to hold on to it. You want to hold on to the money. You're not going to have that life, that abundant life that you're looking for. And so being able to give back to others, we have a dream one day to own a church camp, because some of the biggest memories that we've had growing up, if you talk to anybody that's gone to camps, they'll go, wow, I was really impacted. I remember those weeks that I was out and away from life. And so those are the dreams that we have. And I can be honest with you, I don't think as an employee at the salary we were making, we could even potentially do that.
No way.
There's no way. So that's what this type of opportunity does. It allows you to dream for stuff that's way bigger than what you've ever thought possible.
Like they say, broke people can't help broke people. Even if you're not broke, you don't think you're broke, you have a good job, but you're pretty much almost probably living paycheck to paycheck. You don't have anything else to give, and that's exactly how I feel. No, I can't give back the way I want to because I didn't have any money left. I couldn't even give it to myself. So yeah, it doesn't work like that. But so that's basically also, you kind of came into my next question, Michael. You didn't even know. I wanted to know, what is life like now, like on a daily for everybody? How has your life been changed, impacted? What is life like? Even though, Katie, we know you're still studying and all that really hard, but still, you get to breathe a little bit. I guess, well, let me start with Katie. Katie, with like your pharmacy school, you said, how much was it going to cost, and how much debt are you coming out with from being in pharmacy school?
Well, I started Belmont as a freshman, so Belmont is a little over $30,000 a year, and it has gone up every year since I've started. I think I paid between $35,000 and $37,000 this last year at pharmacy school. So I'm leaving pharmacy school with 0 grad school debt, because I've paid it out of pocket thanks to It Works, and just a little bit of undergrad debt that I'm going to be paying after I graduate, but I don't know the exact amount. But
okay, I
could be leaving with 8 years of $35,000 of debt.
Ooh.
Which kind of blows my mind saying that out loud, but
yeah, that's crazy. Ugh, I'm gonna have to do the math on that. I'm too green. I gotta see what that looks like.
Yeah, it's scary. Well, it's more than that, because in undergrad I took out about 40 so that I could live off of it. So like 40 a year for 4 years.
It'd be $320,000 including your undergrad.
$320,000.
Gross.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That makes my heart race.
Yeah, it kind of gives me anxiety a little bit for my friends.
Right. So so you're not going to have any debt from actually pharmacy school graduating, and that's like something that's really big. Most people, there's like the majority of people. Is there anybody else in your class that's not going to have debt, or are you the only one who's been able to pay cash?
No, I'm the only one that I know of.
Right.
Yeah.
So
take that, people making fun of you.
Yeah, screw you for making fun of me for P1 year.
Bye, Felicia.
So, okay, JoAnna, what does your life look like now? Like, yeah, what do you do on a daily? What is your life like?
Oh my gosh, I just, talked about it. Flexibility. Oh my gosh. And freedom. Just being able to, first and foremost, sleep in. God,
yeah.
I never wanted to
get kids,
out.
Girl.
I never wanted to get up.
He's gonna wake him up by screaming.
Oh, sorry.
You him.
I'm not hearing that word. I'm going, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. So, I used to have to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning just to get to my job at 7:30 to stand in my doorway to welcome my students for the day. And I'm just not a morning person. Like, since I've been home for, the past 2 years, I've been able to sleep in. Oh my gosh. That feels so good. I mean, I just have to say that. Not only that, just like I said, the flexibility. I am now, dance has always been a part of my life, and so I've been able to give back to Baltimore City students by actually going and donating 3 hours of my day to them on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays to teach dance. So it's something that I love to do. I don't have to be there. I'm just there because I love it, and I love the kids. I love the youth. Oh my gosh, my daughter's dance bill. Gosh, that's like 2 car notes a month. And just being able to have the freedom to, put her in that is something that she loves. like I said, telling my children yes, that's something big for me. I felt really low as a parent to not be able to do the things that my children wanted to do. You know, my son, he likes to go to Toys R Us every now and again. You know, he likes to go to GameStop every now and again. So we'll just pick up and go. Travel, you know, whenever you want to travel, you can pick up and go. Don't have to put in your time off to get approved, you know. So it's just having that freedom, that flexibility, and being able to watch your children truly enjoy life, because, you know, you're really making memories for them at this age. And so building memories, oh my gosh, it's just so much more than I ever imagined, and so much more than I thought I could do as a teacher.
Right. Excuse me. Michael and Susan, what is life like now for you guys?
You first.
Okay. We're both at home with our babies. We have a 11-week-old, a 1-year-old, and a 3-year-old, and we get to wake up every single day with them. He takes Vivian to school. I get to sleep in, which is nice. He's really nice enough to let me sleep in most mornings. And we get to go to the park whenever we want. We get to go on vacation whenever we want. We're going to Disney in September.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much travel at least once a month, and we get to take our kids. We never have to call into work. If we're sick, it doesn't matter. We've paid off so much student loans, so much debt. We've been able to give back more than we ever have imagined or could have imagined. We've made amazing friends in this business that are going to be lifelong friends. My babies will never know a day that they didn't have their daddy at home. They don't think that that's, like, they're going to grow up thinking this is normal to have mommy and daddy home every single day. And so we want to show other families that that's possible too. What are some other things? What do you want to say?
I mean, she kind of hit it spot on. I mean, being able to decide, and I loved what you were saying earlier about the deciding factor, because while my kids are small and before they actually get into school and, you know, they're going to have more of a schedule where they won't be at home as often, I want to be here with them, and I want to enjoy these moments with them while we have that opportunity before they turn 18 and all of a sudden they're gone. But that doesn't mean that we just sit around the house or we just go on vacations. Like, we still work, you know, and I want people to realize that, like, even as ambassadors, we work. We work hard.
We want to, because if we're not working, our team won't follow suit. We always want to show them that we can still sign distributors, we can still sign customers, and we're not going to expect them to do things that we're not going to do ourselves.
Yeah, and we love
it though. We love working, and we can do it from anywhere. I was able to get on my phone today while the kids were playing at the park, you know. But I can also choose to put my phone away when I want to, and that's what's important, because when you're behind a desk, you can't choose that. You're stuck there from 9 to 5, and then you get home and you have to cook dinner for your family and rush off to put them in the bath and put them in bed, and you've got maybe an hour and a half that you've spent with your family, and then maybe if you're not as tired, you watch one TV show with your husband, and then you crawl into bed and you go to bed, and you do that every single day. And then on the weekends, you're so exhausted that all you're going to want to do is sleep. And you don't know who your husband is because you see him one to 2 hours a day. That's not knowing who you're married to. So if that doesn't give you something to push for, I don't know what will, because, you know, he may annoy the crap out of me some days, but I love him to death.
Don't listen to her.
I love him to death. I probably annoy him more than he annoys me. But we're best friends, and we're together every day, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Because I actually know who I'm married to, and that's really, really important.
Yeah, time is the most important thing. It's the same reason why you choose to fly a plane across country rather than, you know, taking a car or bus. It's that time that you get to save. It's the same thing as business. You know, you're buying your time. So it's something we'll never get back. It's so important. So we can make more money, but we can't get more time.
Right. And that's like the same thing that happened for me today. Nevaeh was playing, I'm going to say playing hooky because she was not as sick as she tried to let that nurse think. She did throw up last night, but she ate so much food, she was full. That's why she threw up. But she came and told the nurse, like, yeah, mommy, my stomach hurts, and I had to come up to school and get her, and I was so angry because I knew she really wasn't sick, and she got home and, like, wanted to play games and everything. But just me having that flexibility to go get her and not have to worry about calling my mom or seeing if my husband could get off work or my brother, like, that's just, I can't even really put it into words, but I have my freedom and I can do whatever I want. I'm there for my kids whenever I need to. I don't have to have somebody else doing anything, and that's just been like the biggest thing for me with this company. And so I just want to end everything. So what do you guys have to say to people that are watching, that are thinking about joining this business? Like, why do they need to take advantage of this type of opportunity right now? Why do they need to join anyways, like this type of opportunity, and also join our business right now? Katie, go first.
I'd probably just like ask them what would their reason be for waiting. Like, if their why is as important as it is, why would you wait any longer to try and be home with your kids or be debt free? I don't don't make excuses. If that's something that you want in life, just to be debt free or to be with your kids, why would you wait any longer to try and get this going so that you're one day closer to being home with your family or being debt free or going on that dream vacation you've always wanted to go on?
Right. Okay. JoAnna, why do they need to take advantage of this type of opportunity?
Well, you know what? I feel like if they are tuning in right now, they already have a reason why they need to start right now. So that goes to show that there is something that they're thinking about that this opportunity may be able to fulfill for them. And so, as Katie shared, why would you wait? And then, as Michael shared as well, just having that time, it really is something we just cannot get back. And if you have a family or, any type of, important aspects of your life, you want to be able to buy your time, own your own time, to be able to have that freedom, the flexibility to make the best of it. Tomorrow is not promised. And, I think this opportunity is something that it will definitely make sure that you're living for each day and you're able to enjoy each day. So, don't wait.
Right. Susan, I want you to just finish us off, Susan Wade. Why do they need to be joining this business right now?
Because in a year you're going to look back and wonder what if, and you're going to say, I watched that Google Hangout on March 23rd and I could have joined and I didn't, and now my life is still sitting at the exact place that it was previously. And you're going to always ask yourself what would have happened. Right now we're in the biggest momentum that we've ever seen in 3.5 years with It Works Global, and you'd honestly be crazy not to join right now. We have bonuses that we've never had before. This $1,000 Ruby bonus is so doable. We've had people do it in 1 to 2 weeks. That's $1,000 cash in your bank account on top of everything else. And again, we're in momentum time, and there is going to be a time that, just like Amway, just like Mary Kay, those are household names. We are not a household name yet. And when we do become a household name, you will want to be one of the people at the top, because you will be set for life. So we're asking you right now if you're ready for this decision. And it's scary. It's going to be a little bit intimidating, but you have the best team of people that are going to help guide you and help push you through this. And when you feel like giving up and feel like quitting, you're going to have an upline that's going to tell you it's going to be okay. Let's push through this. Because it's a business, so it's not going to be rainbows and butterflies. But if you're willing to give it your all and you're willing to go after this, you will make it to the top. So it's just your decision. You have a decision to make when you go to bed tonight and you close your eyes. You need to decide, is this what I'm going to do to change my life? Because if not, you're just going to sit in the exact same space, the exact same spot that you're in. So we just really, really hope that tonight, kind of hearing from people with actual degrees and have been to school, we're smart. We're not just getting you to jump in blindly into some business that we know nothing about. I mean, Michael and I have been in long enough that we truly believe in this, and we know that these ladies do too. So we hope you join us. And if you have any questions, just reach out to the person who showed you this, and we're excited to have you.
Somebody's got to make the money. Why not you? That's the question. Someone's going to make it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, guys. Yes. So I hope everybody enjoyed themselves, and I want you all to have a great night. And like Susan says, think about this decision and get back with the person that invited you on this call.